We have with us the chairman of L&T, AM Naik, joining us now on the phone. Thank you so much, Mr. Naik, for joining in. Good afternoon. Yes, it's a new government that we have in place. It's another historic mandate. The question, of course, is, will they kickstart that mega infra push which the market is expecting, and in anticipation of which we have seen the stock price as well of L&T run up significantly?
Well, there is no limit to what you can do, because India is much below average. It ought to be for the population, 3 billion people. So there is an enormous need. Very conservatively, very conservatively, it is 100 billion per year. Even then, it takes 10 years to do 1 trillion. So I think there is an urgent need for varieties of infrastructure, not only transportation, railways, water, clean water, I mean. So I think the Indian government has no other option but to spend money on infrastructure. I know there is going to be a huge challenge of bringing the kind of money that is required to build infrastructure, but I think that is something which they will have to find a way.
Good morning, Mr. Naik. This is Cheryl also joining in. So after seeing the first term of NDA government, what do you expect from their second term? Also, how different will that be from the first?
According to me, they will be more aggressive, more positive, implementing and inculcating what is required to be done. And in 2020, even in Rajya Sabha, I think they will have a majority. So there is a lot which got stuck at Rajya Sabha level. Will, I hope, in 2020 will be implemented.
Okay, Mr. Naik, any important ministerial shifts that you do expect? Any minister or any candidate that you would like to see in a particular position in the cabinet?
Are the one who should be taken, and people who did not perform can be set aside, and new faces should be brought who are very efficient, educated, and those. I don't have any favorite, by the way. General principle, what I told is that what we follow in principle also.
Mr. Naik, what's your view on the interest rates? Do you see them heading lower now?
I think it is already low, but at best there is a room for up to 0.5%.
Okay, will that be sufficient to essentially kickstart growth that everyone is talking about? Because the key fear in the market right now is that the growth pace is tempering quite a bit.
Don't think economy is held up because of interest rate. I think it is because of the poor performance corporate sector. You see the amount of provisions which the banks and the NBFCs have made for very poor performance on the part of majority of the corporates, majority. I think if you straighten that and get the NPA within the limits, the economy will begin, because today no banks want to give them money. So it's a vicious circle. If that is straightened out, the fresh project will start again.
Right.
If you tell me by reducing another 0.5%, the economy will kickstart, I'm sorry, I don't agree with you.
Right.
The banks are very hesitating to give money to almost anyone, unless proved otherwise.
Okay. On the international relations front, due to trade war issues, do you expect any steps that India could take, particularly with respect to China? Because at this point of time, many believe that, yes, while US-China may haggle it out on the trade front, India stands to benefit.
I would reserve my comments on China, because China is something on which our government will have to think twice before thickening relationship, because they are very close and spending billions and billions of dollars to build Pakistan infrastructure, and particularly in our neighborhood and virtually touching our border.
Thank you, Mr. Naik, for joining us this morning, giving us your views on the mandate, on the strong mandate that the NDA government has gotten. Mr. AM Naik of L&T saying that there's an urgent need to push for India's infra agenda. Also, he doesn't think that the eco is slowing down because of high interest rates.